Joy said she was coming.
She coming.
Yeah. Glad we're back in here.
Yes, I am. It's cozy.
It's it's cozy as room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we can get these windows blocked, we can do morning services in here too.
Oh, is the sun too bright coming through there?
It's always been too bright, but now it washes out the camera.
Oh. Oh.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Agudath Etz Ahayem Synagogue here in Montgomery, Alabama. I'm Rabbi Scott Kramer. Welcome to the beginning of our Shabbat service together. We are praying out of Siddur Lev Shalem, which is downloadable as a PDF from our synagogue's website. We begin tonight's service, page 5, with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Ni Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Seitchem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We continue page 11 of Psalm 95. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Naria, Naria, l'tzor yishenu, nekad mafana b'toda. Navia, Navia, Litzor Yishenu, Bizmirot Navia Lo, Alechu Neranina, Lechu Neranina, Lechu Neranina, Ladonai, Alechu Neranina, Lechu Neranina, Lechu Neranina, Ladonai, Navia, Navia, Litzor Yishenu, Mekadma Fana Betoda, Navia, Navia, Litzor Yishenu, Bizmirot Navia Lo. Please continue, we continue in the English. Let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector filled with thanks. Let us greet God, raising our voice in song.
Great is Adonai, a greater sovereign than all other deities. Come on, Dad.
What page?
11.
11.
God's hands form the earth's deep mountain crests too, are God's work. The sea is God's, for God made it. Dry land was fashioned by God's hand.
Come then, let us bow and kneel. Let us bend our knees in the presence of Adonai who formed us.
For Adonai, our God, is our God, and we are God's flock, sheep in God's caring hands.
If only we would listen today to God's voice, not become hard-hearted like the people at the Meribah, like the time at Massah, in the desert when your ancestors tried me and tested me, though they had seen what I had wrought.
For 40 years I was troubled by that generation, and I said, these are a people whose hearts have gone astray. They do not know my ways. So in anger I swore they would not enter my rest.
40 שנה כות בדור ואמרם טועה לבבם והם לא ידעו דרכי אשר נשבעתי ביפי אם יבואון אל מנוחתי. Page 13, Psalm 96. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו, בכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני, ומהולל ביוד, נוראו, על כל אלוהים, לי, כי כל אלוהי העמים בלילים, ואדוני שמיים עשה, והדר לפניו, עוז ותפארת במקדשו, אבו לאדוני משפחות עמים, אבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, אבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, שאו מנחה ובואו לחצרות, לי השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, חילו מפניו כל הארץ, אמרו בגויים אדוני מלך, אף תיקון תבל בעלתים, עוד ידין העמים במישרים, ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, הירם ימו מלוא, יעלו שדי, וכל אשר בו לי, אז ירדנו כל הצייר, לפני אדוני קיבה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק, ויאמין באמונתו, We'll continue page 15 with Psalm 97. Adonai reigns, let the earth be glad, the many distant lands rejoice.
Clouds of thick darkness surround the divine, righteousness and justice secure God's throne. Fire goes before God, consuming besiegers round about.
Flashes of lightning illumine the land. The earth watches and trembles. Mountains melt like wax at the approach of Adonai, at the approach of the Master of all the earth.
The heavens tell of God's righteousness, and all the nations see God's glory.
Worshippers of idols be shamed for praising false gods. All that is deemed supreme bow before God.
Zion hears of it and rejoices, the cities of Judah exalt, as you, Adonai, pass judgment.
You, Adonai, are above all that is earthly, exalted over all that is worshipped as divine.
Those who love Adonai hate evil. God protects the lives of the faithful, saving them from the hands of the sinful.
Light is sown for the righteous and joy for the upright. Rejoice in Adonai, you righteous people, and thank God as you pronounce the divine holy name. Or Zarul HaTzadik U'Yisrael Simcha, Simchut Tzadikim B'Adonai, V'hodu L'Zecher Kadesho, page 17, Psalm 98. Mizmor Shiru L'Adonai Shir Chadash, Ki Niflot Asa, Oshia Lo Yemino, Ozero Akod, Shodia Adonai Yeshuato, Le'en Agoyim Gilat Tzidkato, Zachar Chesdo Ve'emunato, Le'beit Yisrael, Ra'u Cholav Se'aret, Et Yeshuat Eloheinu, Oriu L'Adonai Kol Haaretz, Pitrum Deranenu B'Zameru, Zamru L'Adonai Bechinar, Bechinar V'Kol Zimara, Bechatzot Rod V'Kol Shofar, Oriu Lifnei HaMelech Adonai Yiramayam U'Maloho, Tevel V'Yoshveva, Meharod Yimcha Uchav, Yacharim Yiranenu, Lifnei Adonai Kiva, Lishbot Haaretz, Yishbot Tevel B'Tzedek, Ve'yamim Ve'Sharim, Yalai Lalai Lalai Lalai, Yalai Lalai Lalai, Yalai Lalai Lalai Lalai, Yalai Lalai Lalai Lalai, Lalai, Yalai la 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 la, yalai la 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 la, yalai la 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 la. Page 19, Psalm 99. Adonai reigns, nations tremble. The one enthroned amidst the cherubim makes the world quake.
Adonai is great in Zion above all nations. They shall acknowledge your name, saying, Great, awe-inspiring Holy One.
A sovereign strength lies in the love of justice, and you forge the paths of truth, judging Jacob righteously and justly.
Exalt Adonai our God, bow down before God, the Holy One.
Moses and Aaron among God's priests, and Samuel among those who called upon the divine name, called to you and you answered them. You spoke to them from amidst the cloud. They kept your covenant and the law you gave them. You answered them, Adonai our God, you are a forgiving God to them, even as you punish them for their transgressions.
Exalt Adonai our God, and bow down to God's holy mountain, for Adonai our God is holy.
V'romimu Adonai Elohim ishtachavu lahar kadesho, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. We rise, page 21, Psalm 29. Mizmor LeDavid, Avu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, Avu l'Adonai kavod va'oz, Avu l'Adonai kavod shemo, Ishtachavu l'Adonai b'hadrat kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod yirim, Adonai hamayim, hamayim rabim. Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai be'adar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, V'shaver Adonai talzei albanon, V'yarkideim kemo egel levanon, V'siryam kemo v'nreimim. Kol Adonai chutz v'votesh, Kol Adonai Yachiu Midbar, Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai Yechuleu Ayalot, Vayechasod Ya'arod, Uveichalo Kulo Merkavod, Kulo Omer Kavod, Adonai Lamavul Yashav, Vayeshev Adonai melech leolam, Adonai oz liam oiten, Adonai yivarech et amo b'shalom, et amo b'shalom. You may be seated. We continue with Lachadodi, page 23. Lechadodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabila. Lechadodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabila. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, ishmi'anu elam yuchad, Adonai echad u'shamaho echad, l'shemo tiferet v'litila lecha, dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabila, likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki mikor abiracha merosh mikedem nesucha, sov maseh b'machshvat tfila lecha, dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabila, mikdash melech ir melucha, kumitzi mitocha hafecha ravlach, shevet v'yemek havacha, V'yachamo aleichem lalecha, dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabila, hitnarim me'afar kumi, livshevi tifartecha bi, ayat minishai betalachmi, karva emnafshi giyalalecha, dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabila, hito revi, kiva ore kumi ori, shir haberi, kivod Adonai alayich igla, lechadodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nikabila, lechadodi likrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nikabila, lo tevoshi v'lo tikami, ma tishtochechi u'matemi bach yechesu, ani ayami v'nibnata ir altila, lechadodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nikabila, hayulim shisa, Shahu esayich v'rachaku kol mivalayich, yaslis alayich Elohayich, kimchas chatan al kala, lechadodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nikabila, yaminus moti froti v'et Adonai taritzi ayadish ben parti ben ismecha, V'nagila lechadodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nikabila. We rise for the last stanza of Lechadodi, the bottom, page 25, and we face towards the west to greet the Shabbat bride. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha uvetzala, tochem muneh am segula, boi chala lechadodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nikabila. You may be seated, page 27. Mizmor l'shir Yom HaShabbat. Tov la'odot l'Adonai, Tov la'odot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, Tov la'odot l'Adonai, Tov la'odot l'Adonai, Tov la'odot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, Tov la'odot l'Adonai, lehagi b'boker בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, ואמונתך בלילות. טוב להודות לאדוני, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, ואמונתך בלילות. טוב להודות לאדוני. Tzadik atamar yifrach, ki erez balmanon yizkeh shetulim beveit Adonai b'chatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. Od Yenuvun Beseva Deshenim Verananim Yehu Lehagid Ki Yashar Adonai Tzuri V'lo Havlatahu. Page 29, Psalm 93. Adonai is sovereign, robed in splendor, girded in strength. The earth stands firm, not to be dislodged. From earliest time you were enthroned, you are eternal.
The rivers rise up on the night, the rivers raise up their roar, the rivers raise up their waves. Above the roar of the vast sea and the majestic breakers of the ocean, Adonai stands supreme in the heavens.
In your house, beautiful in its holiness, your testimonies endure, Adonai, for all time. Again, Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Oops. Don't have as much room here as I do in the other room. Hope everyone had a wonderful week. And still enjoying the holiday season. This week we continue the struggles of Jacob as he is fleeing his home to avoid fratricide by his older brother Esau, having just stolen the blessing reserved for the firstborn. Jacob is on the border of the land of Canaan and about ready to leave the country. He lies down to sleep and has the famous dream of Jacob's ladder that stretches from the ground to heaven with angels going up and down and God standing by the ladder next to him. The first two verses of our portion, Vayetze, read, Vayetze Yaakov me Beersheva, Vayelech Harana. Jacob left Beersheva, and he set out for Haran. Vayifga b'makom, Vayalin sham kiva shemesh, Vayikach me'avnei hamakom, V'yasem b'rashotav, Vayishkav b'makom hafu. He came upon a certain place and stopped there for the night, for the sun had set. Taking one of the stones of that place, he put it under his head and lay down in that place. So, first Jacob has an encounter with, in the Hebrew it says hamakom, or bamakom. He has an encounter, vayifga bamakom, with the place. Bamakom means the place, but is an idiom for God. Jacob encounters God just at the moment he is ready to leave the land of his birth. with the protection that this land offers as the promised land to Abraham, Isaac, and now Jacob, or soon to be Jacob. He is literally afraid of what the future will bring. And then a few verses later, in Genesis 28, verse 16, it says, Vayikatz Yaakov mishnato, vayomer chen yesh Adonai b'makom hazeh, v'anochi lo yadati. Jacob awoke from his sleep and said, surely the Lord is present in this place, and I did not know it. Jacob did not know that God was in this place. He has an encounter with God, but does not realize it till he wakes up from the dream of Jacob's ladder. The rabbis interpret this moment as the inauguration of the Ma'ariv, or evening service. Each of the three patriarchs was responsible for establishing one of the three prayer services, Shacharit, morning service, which Abraham started, and Mincha, the afternoon service, which Isaac began. So the rabbis are looking for biblical support for the creation of these three services that Jews have been observing for thousands of years. That is fine and well, but I also need to know or seek out meaning for me living today. I think we are not that much different from Jacob. We may not be running from home with someone chasing us to kill us, but we are running just the same. Maybe not away, but toward. We run to do more and more work and make more and more money or gain prestige. We are running to keep endless appointments that we cram into a shorter and shorter week. We run to schlep our children to equally endless activities, having to make critical choices when these activities start to overlap each other. Unfortunately, their Jewish obligations usually get pushed farther and farther down the list. And somewhere along the line, we might step into a shul for a yard site, or a bar and bat mitzvah, or an interesting social event, and actually have an encounter of our own. And guess what? After that encounter, we realized that God was in that place, and we didn't know it. Or worse, we never realize or feel God's presence at all. How many times have you come into this building or any other shul and left empty? And of course, whose fault is that you are leaving empty? Is it the rabbi's because the sermon was not inspiring enough? Check. Is it also the rabbi's fault that you were not inspired by the music sung out of tune or not with what you grew up with? Check. Or was it all the talking and cell phones going off that prevented you from reconnecting with your faith? Also check. Or is the problem within each and every one of us? If you come for entertainment and you don't get entertained, then you feel empty. If you come to be inspired by others and are let down, you leave empty. But if you come with the idea of having an encounter with God, then the control is all in your hands. If you come seeking spirituality within yourself, you will find it. If you come because you want to stop running, you will begin the process of real change. I learned a long time ago from a very bright and caring person to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Spirituality begins with us. Change begins with us. The rest is just icing. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
We now continue with the Ma'ariv service. page 39A. Please rise for the Baruch Hu, the call to worship. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam Avo. And you may be seated. Baruch et Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai Tzavaot is your name, living and ever-present God. May your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch et Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk. U'mahavir yom u'mevi laila, mavdil ben yom u'ben laila, Adonai Tzavaot Shemo. El Chai v'kayam tamid v'ilmoch aleinu l'moed, Baruch et Adonai, Amariv Agavim. Page 40. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amchavta, Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu v'shachvenu v'kumeinu nasiach mechukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam v'oed. Ki em chayenu yorech yameinu u'va'em beneged yomam v'layla ve'avadcha tasib mimenu la'olamim. Baruch et Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'yahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh Asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinanatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha v'lechtecha v'derech v'shachpecha v'kumecha v'kshartam liot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot v'einecha uchtatam al mezuzot beitecha v'visharecha v'haya'im shemot tishmechu el mitzvotai. Vayomer Adonai Moshe lemor daber el bnei Yisrael v'amarta lehem v'yasur lahem tzitzi al kanfei v'gden v'doratam v'natnu al tzitzi takana v'tiol techelet v'haya lachem l'tzitzi oritem oto u'zchartem et kol mitzvot Adonai v'asitem otam V'lo tatu racharei v'kam yacharei nechem asher tamzonim achareihem leman tizgaru v'azitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etachem me'eretz Mitzrayim le'ot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emed. Page 43a. This is our enduring affirmation binding on us that Adonai is our God and there is none other, and we, Israel, are God's people. God is our sovereign, redeeming us from earthly rulers, delivering us from the hand of all tyrants, bringing judgment upon our oppressors and just retribution upon all our mortal enemies, performing wonders beyond understanding and marvels beyond all reckoning. God places us among the living, not allowing our steps to falter, and leads us past the false altars of our enemies, exalting us above all those who hate us. Adonai avenged us with miracles before Pharaoh, offered signs and wonders in the land of Egypt. God brought Israel from its midst to lasting freedom and led them through the divided waters of the Sea of Reeds. As their pursuers and enemies drowned in the depths, God's children beheld the power of the divine. They praised and acknowledged God's name. Page 44. ומלכותו בגודשם כי בלעיהם, משה ויענו בני ישראל, לחנו שירה בשמחה רבה וימלכו כולם, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדור בקודש, נוראתי לו עושה פלא, מלכותך ובניך בו קיים לפני משה, זה לי ענו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, כי ודע אדוני את יעקב, וגלוני את חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, כל ישראל. Page 45. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו. ושמוצאתנו ולחיים ושלומייתה ביד עולם, ופרוסנו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפוחד סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. We rise, page 46. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית העולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. ויאמר שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. We rise or we remain standing for the silent Amidah for Friday night, pages 47 through 52. Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. Ki ata melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. We rise as the ark is open, page 56, for Elaine. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות ולא שמנו כמשפחות אדמה שלא שם חלקנו כהם לגור עלינו ככל המונם ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ ושל יקרא בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים הוא אלוהינו הם מלכנו ארץ זולתו כך כתוב בתורתו וידעת היום השיבות אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא אלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד על כן נכפה לך אדוני אלוהינו לראות מהרה בתפארת עוזך גלולים מן הארץ האלילים כרתון אתה כי עולם במלכות שדי וכל בני בשר יקראו בשמך לאבני לך כל אישי ארץ ובקירו וידעו כל יושבי תבל כי לך תקרא כל ברך תשבח כל לשון לפניך אדוני אלוהינו יכרו ויפול ונכבוד שמך יקרתנו וקבלו כולם את עול מלכותך ותמלוך עליהם מהר לבית כי יום הפצ'לך יהיו עולמי עד תמלוך בכבוד ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ונאמר אדוני למלך על כל הארץ היום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. This week we will observe yard sites for Morris Capuano, Sarah Miller London, Lester Shapiro, Rika Cohen, Israel Kramer, Ruth McManama, Minnie Hurlis Miller, Dr. Irving Cohen, Morris Siegel, Rose Weinstock, Leroy Zaslavsky, Janet Kulbersh, Morris Siegel, Herman Eagle, Bernard Eric Hannon, Leo Heller, Louis Stern, Dr. Jack Feinstein, Jack Finkelstein, Annie Algacy, David Franco Piha, and Pearl Wasserman. Those observing yard site and those who mourn, please rise and join me, page 58, for the Kadishaton, the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash meraba, v'yomad yivrach urtei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yamechon, v'chayedecho beit Yisrael, v'agalav zman karib yimahu amen, yehesh meraba mevarach v'elam nomen maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yittomam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalav, shnei kusha b'richu, Leilamin kol birchata v'shivata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran v'yomad yimahu amen, yehesh lama rabba min shemayim, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimahu amen, oseh shalom b'mamav, u'yaseh shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimahu amen. Thank you for joining me, for joining us for Kabbalat Shabbat. It's so nice to see so many people online, and we have people in our sanctuary as well. We're trying to get more to come as we go. But Shabbat Shalom to all of you. Services will continue tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. And we will end Shabbat together tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. When the Alabama Community Virtual Havdalah Group meets with all of our wonderful music and words of Torah that we offer at the close of Shabbat with Havdalah. So I hope you all can join us. That is via Zoom. The other services are online and live streaming. We do have a holiday coming up in a couple weeks. December 18th is the first candle of Hanukkah. I will be away December 15th through the 19th. I will be performing a B'nai Mitzvah in Los Angeles for the Hagglers. Really looking forward to that. And Cantor Neil Schwartz will be covering it for me that weekend here. We also look forward to welcoming student cantor Carl Sayers, who will be with us Friday night and Saturday, January 6th and 7th. We're actually having a Tot Shabbat that particular Friday night, so it should be a lot of fun. With that, we will go ahead and, and we have Hanukkah Hoopla coming up, and I do not have the date for it.
I think it's the 11th.
There it is. It doesn't say. Yeah, December 11th, Sunday, December 11th at 11 a.m. And they're having the Steve Miller Locky hot dog lunch and cake and bake sale. So you can read about it in your weekly bulletin. With that, we will go ahead and complete our service with Adon Olam on page 211. Adon Olam, Hashem halach, b'terem kol yitzir nivra, v'yet nasa v'cheso kol, azar melech shelo nikra Adon Olam, v'yacharei tichlot tako, levado yeloch nora Adon Olam, v'hu haya v'hu oveh, v'hu yeh b'tifara Adon Olam, Hashem halach, b'terem kol yitzir nivra, v'yet nasa v'cheso kol, azar melech shelo nikra Adon Olam, v'hu echad v'yein sheni, l'am shelo l'hachdira Adon Olam, b'li reshi, b'li tachli, v'lo zvam nisra Adon Olam, Hashem halach, b'terem kol yitzir nivra, v'yet nasa v'cheso kol, azar melech shelo nikra Adon Olam, v'hu eli Chai Goli, the Chorchali Etz Ahayem Olam, Vehu Nisi, Uman Nosli, Menefeshi B'yom Ekra Adon Olam, Masher Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra, Yitvasa, V'chem Shakol, Azar Melech Shema Ekra Adon Olam, Yado of Kid Ruchi, B'yeti Sham Yair Adon Olam, V'maruchi Gemiati, Adon Yali V'lo Ira Adon Olam, Masher Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra, Yitvasa, V'chem Shakol, Azar Melech Shema Ekra Adon